we simply disappear.
Bro, come on and scream! With all the fire in your soul!
I'm Senshi here, and today we have a deck profile for you. All that fancy jazz. Also, we got an amazing, I'll try to show you guys here, we have an amazing Kill la Kill playmat. It's great, it's my favorite playmat by far, but today we're going to do a Cyber Angel deck profile for you. So without further ado, let's get right started. The very first card that I'm going to show you is Cyber Angel Tutubon, or not Cyber Angel, Cyber Tutubon, okay? And the reason why this card is really good in this deck, but I only run one of it because multiples clogs your deck. It's really good if you have, like, let's say you don't have anything over 18, you can tribute a fairy special, tribute a warrior special. But also its tribute effect, when it's tributed for a ritual summon, you can bounce a ritual spell card from your grave back to your hand, which is really good. Next on the list is Star Seraph Scout. Now, when I get Sovereignty and Scepter, I'll trade this one out and a few others for those. But as of right now, this is what I have. So when Storm Summon, you can special summon a Star Seraph from your hand. Pretty simple, you know, gives you the quick rank 4 overlay for Fairy Cheer Girl or number 39, whichever, you know. Next on the list, two Star Seraph Swords, just because they're level 4 light fairy monsters that I can special summon pretty easy, along with their discard effect. Gives me fairies in the grave, which is really good with this deck. Next, two Star Seraph Scales. You should know Scales effect. You know, whenever it's special summoned, you can special summon a Star Seraph from your hand and place a light fairy, or is it just, no, light monster from your graveyard on the top of your deck. But also when it's used as a siege material, whenever you special summon from your hand, you can draw a card once per turn. It's really good. 3 Star Seraph Sages, because you do not run traps in this deck. This is a complete trap-free deck. It's all spells and monsters. So you can discard a spell card, special summon another Star Seraph monster from your hand. So if you special summon Scale, that's 3. Bam, right there. The next monster is your best monster by far. It is your entire Cyber Angel search engine, and that is Cyber Pedant Angel, and you need to run a playset of this. Normal summon it, search a Cyber Angel ritual monster or spell card, special summon it, do the same thing. It's really good. Now let's get into the ritual. So next we have two Cyber Angel Natasha's. You know, when she's on the field, if you try and attack, if your opponent tries to attack your ritual monster, you can negate it. You can end their battle phase if all you have is ritual monsters on the field, which is really good. Also, once per turn, you can target one monster you control, gain life points equal to half their attack. And if she's in the grave, you can banish another ritual monster, take control of an opponent's monster, and special summon her, which is really good. Next is Cyber Angel Ben 10. Ben 10 is probably one of your best, you know, you want Ben 10 in the grave all the time. You want to tribute her for other ritual summons for the sole fact that she's tributed, you can search for a light fairy. Now this entire deck is light except like one card, and that's Cyber Tutubon. But also she has a really good effect. Let's say she's the only one in your hand. You could ritual summon her and then attack a monster. And if it destroys it, your opponent takes damage equal to their original defense on top of what other damage you know you did to them. So that's a really good card. Next, we have Cyber Angel Auditon. Now, Auditon's effect, it's really good for beefing up your ritual monsters. When it's tributed, you know, you can make your ritual monsters gain 1,000 attack defense. But also, when it's ritual summon, you can search for a ritual spell card in your deck or grave, I think. Yes, and you can add it to your hand. Yeah, one ritual spell card, so that's really good for that. Moving on, we run 3 Cyber Angel Dakinis. Dakini is really good. For example, if your opponent has a monster that says it can't be destroyed or targeted by card effects, well, Dakini doesn't do that. It targets your opponent and makes them send it to the graveyard, therefore it's not destroyed. It's just being sent to the graveyard. It's pretty much like tributing it, sort of. But also, during the end phase, you can bounce a ritual monster or ritual spell card back from your graveyard to your hand, once per turn. Next, we run 3 Cyber Angel Rash. Rash is your safe card. If a card, let's say someone activated Dark Hole, nope, shuffle a ritual monster back in the deck, negate it once per turn. But also, when it hits the field, it nukes your opponent's extra deck's monsters that are on the field and destroys them. And then they take 1,000 for each and allows this to attack twice during that battle phase, which is really good. Now moving on to the spell portion, because there are no traps. We run 1 Reasoning. In case you get a dead hand, activate Reasoning to get your start. 1 Lucky Iron Axe for the, draw effect. Someone destroys it, then you can activate its effect to draw. 1 Preparation Rites for search. You can search a level 7 or lower ritual monster and then get a ritual spell card from a grave to your hand. 1 Magical Mallet, in case you get a dead hand, Magical Mallet it, shuffle it back in the deck, draw cards. 1 Double Attack, for the simple fact that I had nothing else to put in here, and I figured double attack would have been okay. 2 Draw Muscles. Draw Muscle saves your monster as well as gives you a draw card, so really good for that. 2 Hand Destructions, in case you need something in the grave. You can discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards, but so does your opponent. This next card is actually probably one of the best spell cards in the deck, and that would be Ritual Sanctuary. Now I'll run 2, a lot of people run 3, some just run 1, but I don't run a Terraforming in this deck because I find it to be very pointless. I feel like Terraforming clogs the deck so bad, and what happens if I have both of these in my hand, and now I'm stuck with the Terraforming in my deck? But it's a really good card, because you can say if I have 1 Ritual Sanctuary, right, I can discard this Ritual Sanctuary that's in my hand, and then use its effect to get a Light Fairy or not a Light Fairy, a Light Ritual Monster, or a Ritual Spell card from my deck to my hand, and then I can use its second effect to shuffle, let's say I have Cyber Angel in the grave. I can shuffle 2 spell cards back into the deck, special summon it, and get its search effect, and now I have another Ritual Sanctuary back in the deck, just in case. 2 Sprite's Blessing, just because it's ritual spell card, they can summon any light ritual monster. It's pretty good. 3 Machine Angel Rituals. Now you want this card in the grave as much as possible, because this is your safe card. This is in the grave, and someone tries to destroy some light monsters you control, nope, you can banish this, save them all. It's also used to summon any Cyber Angel Ritual. Now the last 3 Machine Angel Absolute Rituals. I use this because it also helps me, put stuff in the grave, as well as, I can shuffle stuff back into my deck if I need to ritual summon, which is really good. Now, moving on to the extra deck, you're only going to run 2 cards, and they're both the same, if I can get them out of this card sleeve. It's just 2 Fairy Cheer Girls, and that's just for the simple draw effect, detach draw card. And if you have Scale on there, special summon from your hand, that's 2 draws instead of 1. It's really good. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment below if you want this to actually be a thing that I do on my channel. I might do a deck profile once a month or so. But let's try and go for, 10 likes. And I'll make this an actual segment on my channel. And guys, thanks for watching. If you have any comments about the deck or any plays that you can do with the deck, feel free to leave a comment below about it, and I'll try and get back to you as quick as I can. And thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.